Garcia, who was a USAFE soldier and walked the Death March in World War II, often related that he fought in Bataan with then Lieutenant Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who was well known among the soldiers for his courage and for his genuine caring, especially for the welfare, especially of the low-ranked soldiers, low-ranked men. And we are grateful that our President Marcos Jr., has exhibited the same concern for the most neglected small groups in our society, which include our disability sector. The award was named after Apolinario Mabini, the sublime paralytic and the brains of the Philippine Revolution, whose powerful intellect and an unbounded patriotism, despite his disability, provided inspiration for independence and courage to the Filipino people. Our awardees today also serve as inspirations for all of us for their resilience and efforts to empower the disability sector and its members. The theme that guided the committee in selecting the awardees is inclusion. Inclusion of all persons with disabilities in all aspects of community life, in the exercise of all their human rights on an equal basis with others. Inclusion being the worldwide call of the 8 billion members of the disability sector. Please join us in acknowledging the individuals, groups, and organizations who have shown excellence in promoting the inclusion of all persons with disabilities. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. At this point, we shall now proceed with the presentation of the 2023 Apolinario Mabini Awards. For this batch of awards, there were 329 nominees across all categories. While we would love to recognize all the nominees for their achievements, the selection committee took on the arduous task of selecting the best of the best, whom we shall be honoring today. To lead this year's awarding ceremony, may we invite the Executive Secretary. He shall be accompanied by Senate President Miguel Zubiri and the Chairperson of the Mabini Awards Committee, Mrs. Audrey Zubiri, PFRD President Mr. Edgardo Garcia, and Selection Committee Director, Architect Jaime Silva. The first award is the Organization of Persons with Disabilities Award. The award is given to the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines, Incorporated, to be received by its chairman, Elmer Bonifacio La Peña, for its dedication and commitment for the last 31 years in promoting the acceptance and inclusion of persons with Down syndrome in the society. Next is the Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities Award. The award is given to SM Care's Program on Disability Affairs, to be received by SM Supermall's President, Mr. Stephen Tan, for exemplary commitment in spearheading, supporting, and sustaining empowerment programs aimed at promoting awareness, acceptance, and inclusion of persons with disabilities and their families. Next is the Media Advocate Award. The award is given to Inclunacion, to be received by Ms. Jennifer Garcia. Inclunacion is the first live streaming disability inclusive program in Asia. It has made positive impact on societal attitudes towards disability and on the lives of persons with disabilities. Next is the Manuel Agawili Employer of the Year Award, Large Company category. The award is given to Accenture Incorporated Philippines, to be received by Ms. Ambe Tiero for building an inclusive workplace by hiring 3.4% of its workforce from the disabled sector. Next, the Manuel Agawili Employer of the Year Award, Medium Company category, is given to the Tahanang Walang Hagdanan Incorporated, to be received by Mr. Felix V. Gonzalez Jr. for cumulatively hiring over 1,000 persons with disabilities, consistently promoting sustainable livelihood programs, asserting disability inclusion and mainstreaming of persons with disabilities in our society. Next is the Manuel Agawili Employer of the Year Award Small Group category. The award is given to Caravan Food Group, to be received by Mr. Josiah Theodore Cakayan for prioritizing the hiring of persons with disabilities, with an astounding 56.5% hiring rate from the sector. Next is the Local Government Unit Award. The award is given to the municipality of Carmona, Cavite, to be received by Mayor Dalia Loyola for its continuing services for Caviteños with disabilities delivered through disability inclusive programs, projects, and activities. Another Local Government Unit Award is given to Barangay San Lorenzo, Makati, to be received by Barangay Captain Ernesto Moya for its community-wide approach in providing services to persons with disabilities in its jurisdiction. Next, Disability Friendly Establishment Special Award. The award is given to Robinson's Land Corporation, to be received by Mr. Irving Wu for having partially complied with Batas Pambansa Bilang 344 in 2 locations, Robinson's Galleria South and Robinson's Magnolia. Next, Disability Friendly Establishment Bronze and Special Award. The award is given to SM Supermalls, to be received by Engineer Bian Mateo and Mr. Antonio Felix Ortiga for having substantially and partially complied with Batas Pambansa Bilang 344. Next, Disability Friendly Establishment Bronze and Special Award. The award is given to Ayala Property Management Corp, to be received by Mr. Laurent Lamasuta and Mr. Alfonso Reyes for having substantially and partially complied with Batas Pambansa Bilang 344. Next is the Disability Friendly Establishment Gold Award. The award is given to SM City Grand Central, to be received by Mr. Stephen Tan for having significantly complied with Batas Pambansa Bilang 344. The next Special Recognition Award. The award is given to Senator Sherwin Gatchalian for his untiring efforts and leadership in the passage of RA 11650, establishing an inclusive education for learners with disabilities and assures them of their right to free and appropriate education alongside their non-disabled peers in regular classrooms. Another Special Recognition Award is given to Congressman Roman Romulo for leading initiatives in the House of Representatives for the approval of RA 11650, or an act instituting a policy of inclusion and services for learners with disabilities in support of inclusive education, establishing inclusive learning resource centers of learners with disabilities in all school districts, municipalities, and cities, providing for standards, appropriating funds thereof, and for other purposes. A posthumous special recognition award is given to Captain Oscar Talayon to be received by his widow, Mrs. Dailin Talayon, for his exemplary leadership in uniting the sector as co-founder of AKAP Pinoy that gives economic and political voice to persons with disabilities. Next is the Filipino with Disability Award. The award is given to Mr. Jose Goranola for establishing a successful construction company and demonstrating courage and competence as an entrepreneur and a businessman despite being totally blind. Lastly, the Apolinario Mabini Life Achievement Award. The award is given to Mr. Antonio Llanes Jr. for his dedication and zeal for promoting the full inclusion of the visually impaired in the community in the last 29 years. Thank you, Executive Secretary Bersamin, and congratulations to all of our awardees. You may now be seated. At this point, may we request Mr. Antonio Llanes Jr. to remain in front to give the response on behalf of all the awardees.
To our beloved President, the Honorable Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Andito ba? Hindi ko makita. I guess Senator Severi. Right ba? Ang posible. Edgardo Garcia, President, PFRD. I'm a little bit nervous. Pagpasensya niyo ako. And of course, to our distinguished guests, marami-rami kayo, and besides, hindi ko kayo makita, kaya hindi ko kayo mabanggit. And of course, friends and families, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, to my co-awardee, special mention to Jose Renyola. If you want to know why, I'll tell you later. I'll just whisper to you. And of course, to my fellow advocates working for persons with disability, my fellow servant, I have been, sabi ng coach ko, walang for the longest time, I cannot believe that I am in this prestigious place, and in this podium, I am not holding my award, but I cannot believe I have the award. Still, it's a mystery. But if I may say, I have been working with the sectors for persons with disability for quite some time, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to make an impact in their lives. And taking it back, my journey, I was born with visual impairment, and 4 of us are blind. And as children of 5 from my parents, so disability was the norm of my house, and that to be a servant and to be with the sector for quite some times up to now is no longer new to me. But I am honored and privileged because we were able to put up adaptive technology for rehabilitation, integration, and empowerment of the visually impaired, an IT school for the blind, together with my siblings and my friends, and we have did so much impact in our work, and up to now I cannot believe that after our first training last 1999, we were able to come up with a lot of success for blind and visually impaired persons, producing computer programmers and web designers, call center agents. In other words, they have already been employed and economically productive. However, going back still, I cannot do this all alone. I have to recognize some of our contributors, like for our friends and partners, the NGOs, GOs and international NGOs, local government units, and national government agencies, including the private sector. Of course, I have to recognize also some of our member of the Board of Trustees who works for the government before, in the person and the name of Marta Hernandez from TESDA, and Angelita Nicolas from Department of Information and Communication Technology, who works with us also, and they are here with us. Not to forget, some of my staff, sighted staff, Ken Figueroa, who really works hard even during night, because even in spite of his with sight, he works and embraces the blind of blind. Of course, I cannot forget my co-founder, Miss Carol Katakutan. She doesn't look like a blind person, however, she is blind. I assure you that. Of course, my family and my siblings who always gives me the inspiration. Eunice Rosabel, they're all here. Hezron Elohim, Onaika Shalem, Sainas Jalomay, and of course, yung aking mamanogaging si Attorney Katrina Bosque. They're all here, thank you. And I already have my apos. And of course, our journey with Atrieve is not something like a bed of roses. There were trials, there were difficulties, and in fact, there were points wherein we're about to close because lacks of funding, and there are times that I thought that Atrieve will be taken out from me because of some problems or vested interest. And during that down and out of my life, I have my beloved wife, Nessie Llanes, who always keeps me up. Siya yung CCTV ko, laging bantay kung makulit ako. And also, having said that, thank you very much to everyone. And finally, if I may say, pasensya na lang kung may nakalimutan ako, ninenervyos ako. We have been working quite some time with Atrieve, and we have so many one who produce. But I'm already 65 years old, but age is not a reason for retirement. And Atrieve will always stay with you for as long as there is technology. Atrieve will serve you for as long as there are blind people and other disabilities who are in need. Tony, your servant, will always bid you until such time that persons with disability will maximize his full potential and be a productive society. And of course, we cannot thank you for everyone for helping us realize our vision. And finally, in spite, I may not have the gift of sight, but I have a vision beyond sight, or if I may say, a vision beyond sight that precedes the sight is our vision that works well beyond sight. Thank you very much and good life to all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Llanes. At this point, may we invite the Executive Secretary to deliver the President's message.
Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri, Madam Audrey Tan Zubiri, Chairperson of the 30th Apolinario Mabini Awards, Mr. Edgardo Garcia, Philippine Foundation for the Rehabilitation of the Disabled, Mr. Jaime Silva, Chairperson of the Screening Committee, the awardees of the Apolinario 2023 Apolinario Mabini Awards, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. I will deliver now the speech of the President of the Philippines. I begin. A good day to all. I am honored to address everyone on the occasion of the 30th Apolinario Mabini Awards. This prestigious event brings together individuals, groups, and agencies who have made remarkable contributions to the empowerment and inclusion of persons with disabilities in the country. I commend the Philippine Foundation for the Rehabilitation of the Disabled for promoting measures to prevent disability, protect and rehabilitate the disabled, and equalize opportunities for PWDs. Through the Apolinario Mabini Awards, you have inspired us to go beyond our perceived limitations, embrace the immense potential within each of us, and foster a more inclusive Philippines. Each of our awardees we honor today embodied these aspirations by dedicating their lives to enhance opportunities and advocate for our disabled individuals. They have also helped create a society where disability is not seen as an obstacle, but as a unique outlook that enriches our shared experience. I thus thank this year's Mabini awardees for breaking down barriers and championing the rights of persons with disabilities. All of you are beacons of hope, lighting the path towards a society that fully embraces all. As President, I assure you that the government remains dedicated to addressing the challenges faced by our PWDs so that they can fully participate in shaping our society. I trust that the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the Department of Health, our local government units, and all our partner agencies shall continue to strengthen our programs and services that encourage PWDs to take part in nation building. Continue your various advocacies that reduce prejudice and promote the acceptance and empowerment of our PWDs to eliminate stigma, discrimination, and exclusion. I also call on the private sector to create inclusive workspaces that will provide equal employment opportunities for PWDs and will uphold a culture that values diversity and equality. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mabini Awards reminds us that disability does not define a person's worth. Instead, it is a spark for innovation, resilience, and ingenuity that enables people to do better and to do more. We not only find out our innate strengths, but also discover our true selves whenever we are willing to go beyond our limitations. So let us tear down barriers and replace them with bridges of opportunity, empathy, and understanding. This way we can write our own stories that will inspire us to work harder for a new Philippines that will leave nobody behind. Once again, congratulations to this year's Mabini awardees. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, Executive Secretary Bersamin. At this point, may we request the Executive Secretary to kindly grant us a photo opportunity. May we call for the first set of awardees. Will you say it?